In battling the passion of lust, you need strategies and introspection. Reflect on what you're feeling, allowing, and doing. It's easy to blame others for your struggles, such as blaming women's attire. This excuse echoes Adam's words in Genesis when he said, "The woman you gave me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate." Genesis chapter 3, verse 12. Like Adam, you must take responsibility for your own actions. Blaming others is not true repentance. Confession requires you to focus on your own sins, not the actions of others. Imagine this: if your mother, sister, or daughter dressed similarly, would you react with the same lustful passion? Most likely not, because you already hold genuine love for them. This highlights a key truth: lust reflects a lack of love. When you objectify someone, reducing them to a source of gratification, you fail to love them as Christ commands. Recognizing this lack of love is the first step to repentance. Ask yourself, are you fostering Christ's love in your heart, or are you allowing lust to take root? Pornography, often a trap for many, is described by church fathers as the iconography of the devil. It stirs passions and dehumanizes women, who are created in God's image, reducing them to mere objects of desire. Isaac the Syrian warns, "Whoever does not voluntarily withdraw from sources of temptation will involuntarily become a slave to sin." This reminds you that avoiding temptation requires deliberate effort. If you don't choose to turn away from what fuels lust, you'll be overtaken by sin against your will. Overcoming lust means choosing love over objectification, taking responsibility for your thoughts and actions, and turning away from anything that stirs sinful desires. If you don't cut off temptation at its root, sin will drag you away, enslaving you and making resistance seem impossible. To avoid this, you must choose to deny yourself and reject what fuels temptation. This act of self-denial is crucial for overcoming sin. From the earliest moments of your life, you may have sensed the presence of something greater. Some carry invisible marks from childhood traits, pointing to a divine calling that shapes their journey. It's as though the Creator prepared a unique path for you, leaving signs along the way to remind you of the purpose entrusted to you. These signs, often subtle and ordinary, reveal that your existence is linked to a spiritual mission. Perhaps you've experienced a profound connection to the world, or a certainty that you are not alone. These moments are not random, but reflect a greater purpose. In Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations, just as Jeremiah was chosen." Many are marked from childhood for a special destiny. Reflect on your own story. Since childhood, have you felt different from others? Maybe you were more introspective, preferred observing your surroundings, or had thoughts and feelings that others didn't share. This sense of being set apart, while sometimes lonely, points to a unique purpose. For instance, while others played and socialized easily, you might have found solace in quiet moments, reflecting or asking profound questions that puzzled adults. Perhaps you wondered, why do I feel this way? Why don't I fully belong? These feelings do not indicate that something is wrong with you, but may instead point to the divine mission placed within you. Feeling different is not a flaw, but a sign that you have been set apart for a greater purpose. This uniqueness is like a mark left by God, signifying that your life carries special meaning. As a child, you might have felt an instinct to care for others, help someone in need, or protect those who were vulnerable. For instance, you may have felt empathy for a lonely classmate, or been deeply saddened by someone's suffering, even without fully understanding why. This sensitivity reveals a heart prepared for something greater. The Bible reinforces this idea in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. This verse reminds you that being different is not a problem, but a key part of who you are. Embracing this feeling of singularity is the first step in recognizing the unique purpose God has placed in your life. Number 2, consciousness from a young age. You may have seen the world differently, with heightened senses that notice details others overlooked. This awareness went beyond simple observation. It was as if you were attuned to something greater, something beyond the physical. While other children were focused on games or daily activities, you might have picked up on emotions, subtle gestures, or shifts in your environment. You could sense an atmosphere in a place or intuitively feel that something significant was about to happen, even without clear evidence. For example, you may recall moments where you felt deeply connected to nature or everyday occurrences that awakened something profound within you. A gentle breeze, the sound of rain, or the stillness of night might have stirred inexplicable emotions, as if the universe itself were communicating with you. These were not mere coincidences, but signs of a special connection with the unseen. This heightened sensitivity is uncommon and marks you as someone chosen for a unique purpose. It allows you to perceive and interpret the world in a way that reveals the deeper meaning behind events and interactions. Proverbs 20 verse 27 states, "The human spirit is the lamp of the Lord that searches all the inner parts of a person." This verse reminds you that God often speaks to you through this inner awareness, guiding you toward your purpose or alerting you to important matters. Recognizing this consciousness is vital in understanding your mission. It is a divine tool enabling you to see beyond appearances and focus on what truly matters in your journey. Number 3, empathy. A powerful sign that you are chosen is your ability to deeply feel and understand the emotions of those around you. From childhood, you may have noticed this unique sensitivity while others ignored or failed to notice the feelings of those nearby. You seemed to naturally sense their emotions as if they were your own. This wasn't a superficial awareness, but an open-hearted understanding of the needs and struggles of others. Perhaps you recall moments when someone was sad or distressed, and even without them saying a word, you felt their pain and knew they needed comfort. This extraordinary empathy is more than a personality trait. It is a spiritual gift that prepares you to care for and serve others. For example, you might have been the child who noticed a lonely classmate or felt compelled to help someone in distress, unable to turn away from the suffering of others. This deep empathy reflects God's love at work in your heart, shaping you to be a source of comfort and hope. The Bible highlights the importance of this sensitivity in Romans chapter 12, verse 15. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Mourn with those who mourn. This passage reminds you that sharing in the emotions of others is a way to reflect God's love and fulfill His purpose for your life. Rather than a weakness, this extraordinary empathy is a strength, a divine tool that enables you to connect with others on a deeper level. It allows you to offer support, understanding, and light in challenging times. Recognize this ability as part of your calling to serve and to live a life of greater purpose, spreading God's love through every act of care and kindness. Number 4, premonitions. From an early age, many chosen individuals recall experiencing vivid dreams or premonitions during childhood events that later came true. These occurrences are not random, but are clear indications of a divine presence at work in your life. These dreams, often rich with meaning, serve as messages pointing toward the special purpose for which you were created. You may remember a dream that felt extraordinarily real, one that stayed with you for years, or an unshakable feeling that something was about to happen, which later unfolded exactly as you sensed it would. These experiences, though puzzling in childhood, are manifestations of your connection with God. For instance, some children may have dreams that provide warnings about future events or visions that offer comfort during uncertain times. These moments act as seeds planted in your soul, preparing you to recognize and embrace God's purpose for your life. Often, such dreams come with a sense of peace or guidance, reminding you that you are never alone on your journey. The Bible highlights the significance of dreams as a means of divine communication. In Job 33 verses 15 and 16, it says, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on people as they slumber in their beds, he opens their ears and gives them wisdom." This passage affirms that God often uses dreams to guide and reveal his plans. If you have experienced such moments, know that they are far more than coincidences. They are reflections of the divine calling in your life. Embrace these dreams as a sign of your connection with God, who has been preparing you from an early age to fulfill the unique purpose he has set before you. Number 5. Protection from an early age. You may have noticed moments when you seemed inexplicably shielded from harm, times when a greater force appeared to intervene, ensuring your safety in ways that defy explanation. These occurrences are not mere coincidences, but clear signs of divine protection actively working in your life. Perhaps you recall narrowly escaping an accident or facing a challenging situation that resolved unexpectedly in your favor. You may have even sensed an invisible presence, like a guardian watching over you to prevent harm. Such protection reflects God's care, safeguarding those he has chosen for a special purpose. For instance, you might have instinctively avoided danger without understanding the full risk, or encountered someone who appeared at just the right moment to help, as if sent by a higher power. These events point to a greater plan and preparation for your divine mission. The Bible speaks of this protection in Psalm 91 verse 11. "For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways." This verse affirms that God provides special protection to those who play a significant role in his plan. Recognizing this divine care means understanding that your journey is never walked alone. These moments serve as reminders that you are part of something greater and that your life is being guided and guarded to fulfill God's purpose. Embracing this truth allows you to live with confidence and gratitude, knowing that even in the hardest times, you have not been abandoned. Every detail of your story reflects the divine love and protection surrounding you. Number 6. Connection from an early age. You may have felt a deep closeness to God, as if he were a faithful friend walking alongside you. This sense of intimacy wasn't imagined or coincidental. It was a manifestation of divine love uniquely present in your life. Perhaps you remember talking to God in simple, heartfelt ways, as though he were physically there, listening to every word. Even without audible responses, this connection felt natural, almost like a friendship. In moments of difficulty, you might have experienced an unexplainable peace, a calm that didn't align with the chaos around you. This tranquility was a sign of God's presence, enveloping you with assurance that you are never alone. You may also recall moments when you were instinctively drawn to pray or seek answers from a higher power, even as a child. These experiences highlight a heart already attuned to the divine, prepared to embrace the guidance and blessings integral to your journey. This close relationship with God is one of the greatest gifts a chosen one can experience. The Bible affirms this truth in Psalm 145 verse 18. "The Lord is near to all who call on him, to all who call on him in truth." This verse reminds us that God is not distant, but always present with those who seek him sincerely and with faith. If you have felt this connection from a young age, it reflects the special calling God has placed on your life. Such closeness is not ordinary, but a preparation for the unique purpose he has set for you. Embrace and nurture this relationship, allowing it to deepen. It will serve as the foundation for overcoming challenges and fulfilling the mission for which you were chosen. Number 7. Challenges. From a young age, chosen ones often face unique challenges early in life that set them apart. Perhaps as a child, you felt like you didn't entirely belong not among your peers or even within your own family. This sense of being different may have been painful and isolating, but it was part of the preparation for the greater purpose you were destined to fulfill. These challenges weren't accidental. They were tools God used to shape your character and strengthen your faith. This feeling of isolation often pushed you to reflect deeply, while others were content to follow the flow of daily life. It may have led you to question things few others considered, broadening your perspective and giving you a deeper understanding of life and the human experience. For example, you might have been the one who noticed and cared about the feelings of others, even when your peers were indifferent. Or perhaps your ideas and perspectives seemed misunderstood, as if you saw the world differently. This difference wasn't a flaw, but a mark that you were set apart for a greater purpose, one requiring resilience and courage. The Bible reminds us that such difficulties are part of the preparation process. In Romans chapter 5 verses 3 and 4, it is written, "Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings, because we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character. And character, hope." These verses reveal that trials are not punishments but tools for growth, shaping perseverance, refining character, and instilling hope. To be a beacon of hope for others, you must first endure turbulent waters. The difficulties you've faced serve as preparation, turning pain into strength and isolation into empathy. This process molds you into someone capable of understanding and uplifting others. Embrace these challenges as evidence of the divine purpose that has always been present in your life. They have been shaping you for the mission God has entrusted to you. Number 8. A fascination with stories of faith and courage. From an early age, you may have shown an unusual interest in stories that went beyond the ordinary. While many children were drawn to fairy tales or fictional adventures, perhaps you preferred accounts of courage, faith, and sacrifice. Stories of martyrs, spiritual leaders, or people who faced great adversity to fulfill a higher purpose may have captivated your attention in a profound way. This fascination wasn't merely a preference, but a reflection of the unique calling God placed in your life, preparing you to be a light in a world often overshadowed by doubt and fear. Your early interest might have started with biblical stories. For example, the courage of David facing Goliath may have touched your heart, showing that with faith in God, it is possible to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. Or perhaps Noah's perseverance in building the ark, despite widespread skepticism, inspired your determination to follow your convictions. These stories didn't just entertain you. They planted seeds of inspiration, demonstrating how faith can transform lives and achieve the impossible. Another powerful example is the story of Joseph, who endured betrayal, injustice, and years of waiting before seeing God's plan fulfilled. Sold into slavery by his own brothers, Joseph never lost his trust in God, and in the end, he rose to leadership, saving many lives during a famine. For a child drawn to such narratives, Joseph's story is a reminder that even the most challenging times have a greater purpose, something that resonates deeply with a chosen heart. Beyond biblical accounts, you might also have been inspired by the lives of real people who demonstrated courage and faith in difficult circumstances. Martyrs who refused to abandon their beliefs, missionaries who carried God's message to distant lands, and reformers who fought for justice may have fueled your desire to make a meaningful difference in the world. These examples of dedication and conviction likely awakened in you a deep longing to live with a similar purpose. The Bible highlights the importance of drawing inspiration from these stories. In Hebrews chapter 12, verse 1, it is written, "Therefore, Since we are surrounded by such a great cloud of witnesses, let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us. This passage reminds us that the stories of others' faith serve as guiding lights, encouraging us to persevere in our own journey. If you resonated with these stories from an early age, it wasn't just a simple preference, it was God's way of preparing your heart for the mission He has for you. These accounts were not only examples but reflections of the purpose He was already beginning to reveal in your life. They shaped your perspective, instilling in you a desire to live with the same courage, faith, and dedication that inspired you as a child. Number 9. Curiosity. You may have been the child who asked questions that puzzled adults, questions about life's purpose, suffering, or who God is. This curiosity was more than just a phase. It was a sign of a special connection to the divine, indicating that your soul was destined to seek deeper truths. While other children were content with simple answers, you yearned for more. This desire to understand was like an inner flame, pushing you to uncover truths beyond what was visible. This thirst for spiritual knowledge was not just natural, it was God's way of planting seeds of purpose in your heart. The Bible shares examples of those who showed similar spiritual curiosity. One such person was young Samuel, who lived in the temple, serving the priest Eli. In 1 Samuel chapter 3 verse 10, Samuel hears God's voice for the first time and responds, "Speak, for your servant is listening," showing his openness to learning and his connection to the divine. Another example is Jesus, who at age 12 was found in the temple, engaging in deep discussions with religious leaders. In Luke chapter 2 verses 46 and 47, we read that he asked questions and listened intently, astonishing the teachers with his wisdom. Just as Samuel and Jesus showed early interest in spiritual matters, your childhood curiosity is a sign of a greater calling. This search for understanding may have led you to explore Bible stories, observe others' behaviors, or spend time reflecting on life's meaning. Deep down, you knew there was a greater force guiding everything. Number 10. The gift of spiritual curiosity and resilience. In quiet moments, you may have felt an inner presence or intuition urging you to continue seeking. This spiritual curiosity is a gift, suggesting that God is preparing you to be someone who, beyond learning for yourself, shares the answers and hope with others. As Proverbs chapter 2 verses 3 to 5 says, "If you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God." This thirst for wisdom drives you forward, shaping your faith and empowering you to inspire others on their own journey toward truth and transformation. Perhaps you faced hardships in your youth, loss, financial troubles, or family struggles. Though painful, these experiences were not in vain. They built resilience within you, serving as spiritual armor that helps you endure even the toughest challenges. Understanding this may not be easy, but each obstacle you overcame made you stronger and better equipped for what God has planned for you. Your resilience is a reflection of the divine plan at work in your life, reminding you that you're never alone and that God is with you, even in the hardest battles. Draw on this strength to keep moving forward, knowing that each victory brings you closer to your purpose as one of the chosen ones. Recognizing these signs is just the beginning of a journey that continually unfolds. Each phase of your story brings new insights, challenges, and opportunities for spiritual growth. What may have seemed insignificant in childhood can gain new meaning as you walk with God. The imaginary friend you spoke to might have been a spiritual guide, and moments when you escaped danger without explanation could have been divine interventions. Being chosen does not mean a life without struggles. Rather, It means facing challenges that refine and strengthen you, like gold being purified in fire. These trials are not punishments, but essential steps in preparing you for your greater purpose. If you see these signs in your life, know that it's no coincidence. You're part of a divine plan that unfolds each day. Share your experiences with others who are discovering what it means to be chosen. Your story can inspire and uplift those who are just beginning their journey. Let your light shine, illuminating the way for those around you and reflecting God's love in everything you do. This light is not just for you, but for everyone seeking their purpose. If you recognize these signs in your childhood, share your thoughts below. Let's grow, learn, and support each other on this blessed path. Amen.